Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Hello to Healing. I'm one of your hosts, Michaela.
And I'm Michelle, the other host.
And today we are sitting with the harmonic egg in the back, and we are talking about divine femininity. If you can even say that correctly, femininity.
Well, or divine feminine energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd like to kind of discuss a little bit. There's been a few things that have been come up for us about like divine femme, and we've been also kind of into a course lately that is really going deep diving into divine femininity and masculinity because recently too I've heard about this concept of toxic masculinity, which I think that's kind of crazy in itself to say any of that
Yeah.
kind of
To
thing
even
is
call it
toxic.
toxic, I mean, you have both in you, masculine
Yeah,
and feminine,
exactly.
both energies.
Yeah,
And what really seems to be a problem right now, you could say, on our planet is they're not balanced. They're just
exactly.
not balanced. We have over many years become more masculine. I mean, I don't think women can deny that. And there's nothing wrong with being competitive. I don't want to say there's anything wrong with
Or the
that.
masculine energy at all.
There
It
there is
exists for a
nothing.
reason.
We need that, but we are so competitive. Things are cut cutthroat. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's you got to be strong. You know, you make a reference to a woman, well, don't cry like a woman would, or don't be weak.
Mhm.
So we really,
Suck it up. Yeah, those
right,
statements.
we really need to think about where we are at with these energies and how to balance them.
Mhm.
You know, the ultimate divine feminine energy is Mother Earth. We don't refer to her as Father Earth, we refer to her as Mother Earth. And we have really strayed away from that. Let's think, how much time do you spend outside, even doing anything, going for a walk? Uh, I love to garden, so I spend a lot of time in the dirt, but you know, how much time do we as humans really spend out in nature? It's
Probably not
it's
enough.
been removed. I mean, most of the time now we're on our phones or on our computers, something that removes you from that relationship.
Yeah.
And Mother Earth is the nurturer. So tell me what you think depicts divine feminine energy.
I mean, the divine feminine energy is more about this flow. This one, it has to do with creativity, allowing yourself to literally
Absolutely.
create. I mean, if you think about even like giving birth or creating a
Oh,
child, it's a woman that is carrying this child, and it's really about creation. And so feminine energy, men and women have feminine energy. So the truth is if someone is in this masculine energy, they still have feminine energy. There's nothing wrong with it. And you're supposed to have that because it puts you in touch with each other too. We all have this. And so feminine energy is about creation, it's about intuition, trusting
oh,
this inner wisdom and guidance that is going to take you to where you need to be when you need to be there. And I think that there's this type of concept that's taken away from us of trusting that. And
yes.
the masculine energy is really analytical, it's mathematical, it's thinking things through in a logical base. But feminine energy is really about just letting things flow, letting it work out the way it's supposed to. And I'm not saying
And
that,
trusting.
yeah, and trusting
And
the
trusting
process.
that intuitive self that really knows. It does know what is best for you.
Mhm.
It is always nurturing you in your best interest. So it's getting in touch with that intuitive self. And many things have been done in our lives to try to make you stray away from that. That isn't the the best way to do it. I mean, I can give you examples in medicine. It has to be science, it has to be logic, or it is not right. It won't be right for you. You can't trust it unless there's the science. So, it's been fed to us. It's been just permeates in our lives to the point where you don't trust what you feel or
Yeah.
intuitively think.
You second guess yourself
Yes.
constantly.
So I think what we're asking people to do is please step back and look at where are you in the balance between the two, because you need to be balanced. That's what makes you whole. That's when you're with the one universal source, if you want to call it that. You really need to evaluate where you are with these things and begin to do things that can promote that part of your energetic self. We can give you an example for a masculine type of thing. A most masculine energy, someone would be speaking up. They're going to tell you if they think something is not right.
Mhm.
That's a good characteristic. You want to have that. And as a woman, that is also something that is important that your voice be heard. So that is an important characteristic, and it's a good thing to balance with that. But let's take a male, and really it doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter with this at all. But in a man, if you came up and said, well, I just intuitively felt that, that's why I did it, you know
There'll
people
be
would
questions.
probably would question that a little bit. Today I think we're moving forward to changing that. But what is wrong with it, really? What is wrong with saying I intuitively felt that and I'm just guided to go that way? So
Of course, yeah, I agree. I think that we really need to step into this questioning of ourselves, and really think, how can I be more balanced in these two different,
yeah,
forms of energy within myself? Because that's really where you're going to excel in being who you are when you are able to find balance in these two kinds of flows.
even more so, I think, really honestly, for us to save our planet and what's happening today, we really need to come to the balance of these two things. I think it'll be a dramatic change for humanity unto itself.
And how
Um,
can you? How can you step into these types of energies? Let's say I would have to say that after traveling, after experiencing so many different cultures
yeah,
and really seeing how people live on this planet, I would say that there is a lot more masculine energy that exists because that's just the foundation of the structure, the building things and creating things for and mathematical reasons, things like that. It's a lot more of a masculine energy. So now it's time to kind of allow ourselves to look within and
yeah.
allowing ourselves to feel, which I know in many different cultures across the board, for a long time, men have been told not to feel their emotions and really tune into themselves and kind of push it down. Not to say that women don't have that too, but there's more of a pressure for men that have
Right,
that.
right.
And so
Yes,
now it's time to know that it's okay to cry if you need to cry, to feel those emotions because they're still
right.
there and they're
Oh,
not
yeah,
going to go anywhere. And the more that you suppress it, the more it's going to kind of have this pushback, which is exactly what I do with my energy, clients, is identifying what's actually underneath the surface that your subconscious has been storing for
right.
you to actually revisit, to let go, because your subconscious is a storehouse. And so And it's hard to understand on a conscious level what's actually been there from when you were 4 years old and the situation happened with a parent, right? But it's not something consciously you're aware of, but your subconscious has that stored. So it knows exactly what's going on. So allowing yourself to feel those emotions truly. And
I
yeah.
think the other part of that is nurturing yourself. You need to do things that nurture you. That is part of the divine feminine, is to love yourself, to take care of yourself. You know, a lot of the different modalities that we are seeing coming up more and more often, sound baths, our energy healing. This is happening for a reason. We need to nurture that part of ourself to bring ourselves back into a balance that's going to be beneficial. You know, Chinese medicine has a yin and a yang. That's
Yeah,
masculine, feminine.
exactly.
You can't have one without the other. You can't have know what light is without dark. Um, so, you know, you have to venture out and look at these and say, how can I begin to incorporate this? You know, sometimes just awakening yourself to the thought of it stimulates you to go forward into learning more, advancing more, looking at it and saying, I should be doing that.
Yeah,
That is a part of me. So
exactly.
that's what we're trying to encourage you um, to do.
And look more in for yourself,
Right,
take what we say, but actually do the research of or questioning yourself. What can I do to be more in balance with myself so that I can live a better, well-rounded life that's the best reflection for me rather than doing
right,
what society has
right,
forced us to do.
right.
So,
And we really want to emphasize it isn't gender related. It isn't because you're a man, you have to buck up. And if you're a woman, oh, you're allowed to cry. It is not that at all. It is not. So you need to realize that this is all part of who you are and to try to get things into a balance so that you are a vibrant person,
yeah.
right?
Perfect way. So, yeah, we'd like to say thank you for being a part of our podcast. And we'd also like to tell you about a current event that's going to be coming up
Yes.
this month in May on the 30th. And we will be doing a sound bath here at the Power Within Wellness. We'll be doing it actually in the yard with surrounded by beautiful flowers. And yeah, we're going to have a nice time kind of meeting new people, kind of showing them a little bit more about what we have here to offer at the Power Within Wellness. And we look forward to connecting in the future. We plan on
Right.
doing more events. So yeah, kind of follow us on Instagram at powerwithinwellness.usa. And yeah, let us know, connect, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.